What's going on, everybody? It is episode number 36 of Truth Will Set You Free here on January 19th. It's not 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 8:20, which is impressive that we are running late, even though we don't have cash with us. This was actually on us. We want to make sure we are prepared. We got primetime Patriots in the house, Suni, and Mr. Steal Your Girl, Blake, as well as our favorite libertarian / Patriot, Casey, is going to be with us as well. Start sharing this page out. We're going to give you some updates on cash. We're going to talk about the ongoings of the day as well as what's going on this week in current events. A lot to talk about. We are going to be getting started in just about 30 seconds. We'll start the timer. So, guys, go ahead and join us. Come on over. Robert, what's for dinner? There was a lot. I was doing some meal prepping. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So, guys, start joining us. Start sharing it out there. Make sure you're sharing the page. We'll also make sure we touch on how to get a hold of cash in terms of writing letters, et cetera, helping out, et cetera. I'm just going to keep saying et cetera. That's what the show is going to be called today, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So keep sharing the page. Like it. Tell me where you're from. Hit the like button. That allows the algorithm to pick it up. How do you share it? There should be a share button on there, Vanessa, somewhere on the bottom. If we do get to any questions, we'll kind of be keeping an eye on the box as well. So let's go ahead and get Truth Will Set You Free, episode number 36, started. What's going on, everybody? It is Anthony from BetheChange. If you guys want to find us, we always prefer if you guys watch on YouTube, just in case. We have no idea what's going on, when people are going to be removed for no seemingly apparent reason. We can actually talk about that once Mr. Blake comes up on the screen shortly. But I want to say thank you guys for joining us. Some stuff I want to talk about. I'm going to say this in the beginning of the episode and the end. I'm watching what's going on our social media pages. It's gotten ridiculous. A lot of support when we talk about cash, a lot of support when we talk about each other. But at the same time, there is the people that disagree to a point where it's starting a fight. If it's about policy and if it's about reasons, feel free to engage. Technically, feel free to engage as much as you want. But I want to stress the concept being with BetheChange to open up a conversation in a different way and end the conversation in a different way and say, I respectfully disagree. Thank you. But you are entitled to your thoughts as I am to mine. End it. Because our mental health is not worth it. What we're going through right now to try to have this fight is not worth it. So if you would like to choose mental health over fighting on social media, just exit the conversation. If somebody's beating me up, say, I respectfully disagree. I respectfully disagree how you feel about cash, but you're entitled to an opinion. Thank you. Leave it alone. It goes down a rabbit hole, and it is not worth it for us. Win the fight by going high while they are going low. With that said, I'm going to introduce the rest of our group here today. Cash for Cash. Mike, I love it. I'm going to continue to support as well as all the different people that are supporting him as well. Thank you guys for that. Thank you, Mike. You're always awesome. I wonder how you're laying in your bed right now, because I know you like to get comfortable and then come on the lives when we randomly do that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our PTP crew first. Suni and Mr. Steal Your Girl, Blake. What's going on?
Oh.
Is that freshly just picked off Facebook look right there? Is that what that is?
Yeah, this is the new Facebook new me who dis.
Jesus. Suni, what's going on?
Man, I'm chilling before I go on my rant. It's happening. All right. I gave you 2 days, but I changed my mind.
All right. Let's see. Casey, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Just can't wait to see Suni's rant and possibly be involved in it. Looking forward to that.
Excellent. All right. Before I get into opening the show, and we'll talk about a little about what we're going to cover, I want to make sure we throw some of these things up there. For those of you trying to help cash, obviously to support this show and to support BetheChange, which is what we're doing here with Truth Will Set You Free, with our work with Primetime Patriots, as well as change makers, we love the help. So any of the super chats that you guys do, that is great. If you want to find us, it's YouTube. The best place to do that is youtube.com/c/BetheChange USA. That does support our programming. No matter how long Cash is in jail or in prison, he is a part of Be the Change, and he has ownership in that. So that helps the business that we have, that we are in the process right now, as you speak of it, to try to get investment, which is now getting more difficult to watch as we are getting censored, as not we, but as people like us are getting censored. So any support you do, that's great. Go ahead and watch on that channel if you wish. Also, Patreon. I do Motivational Mondays. You can join Cash's Patreon. That's how he continue to support his family. And last but not least, who's waving? Somebody's waving it soon. I haven't got to the comments yet. That's not it right there. This is the other ways to support. I'm going to keep that running on the bottom for a bit as well. Are you wearing a UNC hat?
You know what? Till the death.
Oh man, UNC, by the way, was my favorite college until I lived in Carborough, Chapel Hill area, and then I realized that everybody that went there was not nice. So I decided to no longer be a fan. I couldn't. It was terrible. Terrible. All right. We're going to go ahead and get the show started. We're going to leave that rolling on the bottom if you do want to support Cash. And to the people that are wondering that he is a grifter and stealing money from people, people are doing this to help him out. And it's driving me absolutely crazy to see that. People are doing this out of the kindness of their hearts because of what he's meant. And I would love to read. And actually, Casey, at one point, give your feedback. You've seen all the letters coming through. I've seen a couple. Give your feedback and talk about. I think people are just jealous that they can't make an impact on a life like Cash has in a short 6 months. He's saved people's lives. He's literally kept people from committing suicide. He has gotten people to change their ways in criminality. He's gotten people to be better to their family. He's gotten people to come closer to God. And people are still thinking that they have the need to shame them. Thank you, MC. I appreciate it. Anyways, all right. Are you guys ready to get the show started? Give me a woo.
Woo. Woo.
Hey, Mr. Steal Your Girl. I know you know how to woo.
Woo.
Oh my God.
That's an idiot. Jesus. Oh, guys. All right. We're starting with Truth Will Set You Free. Let's just be honest. The hysterics in the United States have continued. Here we are, still in a place of distrust, confusion, and we're one day away from the swearing in of a new president. We have people that refuse to believe that there are three sides to every story. There's your side, there's my side, and there's always the truth. There is this growing blind obedience of mainstream media from really, really intelligent people. And I don't know how anyone can watch the Don Lemons of the world, the Cuomos, or hell, even the Laura Ingrams, and think that they have anyone's best interest in mind. They are paid. They are paid to make a story into something that grabs your attention, and they are paid for advertising. What pays right now is division, and they are guilty of it. So the more you trust them, the more you are supporting dividing yourselves from your fellow Americans. You've got our government getting rid of genders, the incoming president offering up some really questionable cabinet decisions based on the color of their skin instead of the content of their character. We're demonizing and slamming Christianity, and it's like no one is concerned if it doesn't affect their bubble. We are truly in a bizarro world, and it is painful. I see people like myself that attended the Capitol protest.
Hello?
What happened, guys?
Hell, actually, if you back to that protest, if you go back, am I back right now? Sorry, I know I cut out a second.
Back. You look at the blurry furry animal.
Blurry furry animal? That's probably my best angle. It's all good. For the last several months and hell the way back to Trayvon and Michael Brown. Maybe if I go smaller, maybe it'll help. Oops. How about now? We'll try that.
You always go smaller, Anthony.
Okay. So anyways, held back to Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, all that protest. That was considered mostly peaceful, even when buildings were burnt to the ground, cops were attacked, and lives were lost. Also, not once in any of these events were people that peacefully protested at any event turned violent did they get turned into the FBI. Not once did fellow citizens dox anyone. Not once was there billboards from the FBI saying, can you find anyone that went to the protests and turn them in? Not once did people lose their job or face loss of license because of their attendance in a rally where a very small percentage destroyed the overriding message. Not once. Now, because of the actions of a few, which I might add, did very, very, very little damage, hundreds of thousands are facing more scrutiny than those that broke into stores, stole clothing and purses, burnt down businesses, and did more than that. Something is inherently wrong with this picture. There are people, many of whom I know, comparing this stoppage of Trump supporters to their second chance opportunity to quell the next Third Reich. Meanwhile, not realizing they are using the media, their voice, and their silencing of other voices to do the exact same thing to Trump supporters and voters that happened in the early stages of the Holocaust. It doesn't take much to see this, except the opportunity to step back and say, wait a second, look at it. What am I doing? I've been told that if I don't want flack, if I can't take the heat, don't post. Just be quiet. Or that's fine if you get kicked off Facebook. That's not censorship. It's actually a violation of terms. Just shh. If you don't want pain, just be quiet. That's literally how the Holocaust started. And I have news for you. Facebook is now the media, plain and simple. And it's a controlled entity that anyone cares about. If you care about it in this country, I apologize, then you should be terrified for people with difference in opinion. Someday you are going to have a difference in opinion than the norm. Last night, for Martin Luther King Day, there was literally 10 officers injured in violent clashes with BLM protesters outside of a New York PD City Hall, or New York City Hall. Are we punishing the 500 protesters that didn't do harm? No, that's not how it works, nor should it be how it works, except for this one time, this insurgency that happened. All I've been told is that I need to understand that I'm guilty by association. These are by some of my best friends with whom I'm choosing not to speak to for my own health anymore. When there were cities and businesses burnt down with even those doing harm let go, it's a joke if we can't say that. We need to have a chat. Unfortunately, no one is willing to even get behind their keyboards. I've been asking constantly. I ask every week. Once in a while, we get somebody. If we have any of our followers, and this is my call to action, if we have any of our followers or some people that are liberals on here or some people that know the leftist media and they have a podcast or a show and they want to have a conversation with the opposite side, I want to be on it. Give them my information. I will be totally fine to have the conversation live. You'll have producers or they'll have producers in their ear. They'll have people helping them out. Your background will help everything. Let's hash it out. I guarantee you, you will not make me look like a fool. And I will prove to you that having the conversation is powerful from both sides. Maybe I'll even learn something. Maybe you will. Why? Because at the end of the day, truth will set you free.
Here. And if you want to reach out to him, his number is 414. No, I'm just kidding.
That was good timing. That was actually the end of it. So yeah, that's our opening. Welcome, everybody. How's it going?
Welcome.
That's stressful. That's all stressful. Anyways, let's talk, guys. Let's start with cancel culture. I know that Casey was big on that, and that's kind of what we're talking about. We're seeing people getting doxxed and getting let go of their jobs, etc. I don't get it. So go ahead, get started, Casey.
It's horrible. So what started it is a lot of the stuff that you guys are going through, or people that have went to the protest, and the stuff that we're seeing they're going through after the fact, and all the ridicule and pressure they're seeing from the left and saying they are bad people for just attending, even if they just stood on the lawn or sat on the lawn or just went and saw the speech. If they said they were there on January 6th, they are the devil, is the way it's being perceived. And it's horrible. And then you have the CEO of MyPillow. He is being pulled from Bed Bath & Beyond and Kohl's because he said Trump needs to enact an insurrection act. He said it on a stage there on January 6th. And so he's being ridiculed and trying to be canceled because of that. And he said, I'm not backing down. They're trying to cancel me. So guess what? Here's a promo code. You get 60% off of my product if you use it and you order it on my website. 65%.
65. Almost close to 69%. But it's not.
It's 65% off of my product if you use it on my website. Just go use it. And so he gave everybody just this enormous discount just because he doesn't care. And he's just counteracting the cancel culture. And I think that's the beginning of it. We got to start fighting back in some way. And that's just the start. And the hard thing is these are people that are sensitive and they don't want to have these conversations. So you can't attack them or bring up real facts. They just shy away and then send an email off to your employer. And so it's unfortunate, but we got to start taking action and unifying and ruining this cancel culture. And regardless, like one of the questions I posed today, who on the left has ever been canceled? I have yet to have an answer.
No, I don't got one.
There was the girl that went to Harvard that created those TikToks that got booted for. I don't know if she lost her scholarship. She might have gotten. Oh no. She did get let go of her internship, but she also threatened people's lives and said, "I wish I could kill them." So again, she got let go of an internship for that. So yeah, but somehow we're comparing that to people standing on a lawn.
Do you remember when Kathy Griffin held Donald Trump's bloody head in her hand and she still is active on Twitter? Same.
Oh, or Madonna threatened to blow up the White House.
Or the fact that literally a terrorist organization literally has a Twitter account.
Or when Johnny Depp said that when was the last time somebody assassinated a president?
Or when Maxine Maxwell literally said, "Get in a politician's face."
She said, actually, I think it wasn't just
Maxine Waters.
Maxwell, whatever. Ghislaine Maxwell, Maxine Maxwell, wow.
Or when a Disney producer decided to put up a photo of pushing a MAGA child, through a wood chipper. He still has his job.
Or re-education camps. They like talking about re-education camps too. They do know what that sounds like. I'm literally having some, because I'm half Jewish, and I'm having some of my childhood acquaintances and some good friends, but childhood acquaintances say that you do realize by going to that event, you are supporting something that is the same as the beginning of Hitler. Like they're showing the comparisons. And I go, do you read the article? Because if you read the stuff that you're actually presenting to me, it sounds like that's what you're doing. I was standing on a lawn saying that I had an issue with the current state of our democracy, whether or not it had to do with the election or not. I have a voice. That's the part of being in America. We're not in Nazi Germany, yet they are literally pushing their values to protect against this Third Reich, saying that they're still anybody that does the comparison of Hitler to Trump boggles my mind. I'm like, first off, it's almost impossible in this world, especially in the United States of America, which now I'm actually questioning if that's possible because we've been brainwashed to the T. For Donald Trump to have ever started putting people in camps by people right now suggesting camps is the biggest hypocritical sentence that any human being could possibly say. It's terrifying.
Get rid of fascism. Silence them all.
Yeah. Well, if you can't talk, then it all goes away, right? Well, and speaking of camps, one of the things that I meant to bring up earlier, Germany is now implementing camps if you break COVID rules.
Yep.
You are going to be quarantined in a fenced off area in a camp.
Wow. Awesome. Okay. With all that said, Suni, either of you guys, Casey, because apparently my internet's a little too slow. I sent something in the private chat that I want to play. Thank you. Can you guys pull that up? Oh, you did? Suni did? All right. So I'm going to have you play it. And ultimately, I think a lot of you guys have seen this clip. I talked about it earlier today. I want to play it earlier today. People looking at the mods, I'm kind of looking at people's comments. This is the way I feel right now. I want, to some extent, the people that are trolling, I want their comments up. And I want you guys to react the way that we can react as people that are part of Be the Change. We're being streetlights. We're being what Cash's whatever image is, which is let them troll and let us show that we could take the high road. They're trolls. They mean nothing to this conversation except for maybe at the end of the day, they'll hear us. They'll hear something that we say, and it might actually resonate. So I'm going to let it go. I got to look to see how bad it gets after this, and we'll talk about it. So at this point, no. And also, I would encourage people to start watching CNN on occasion and watching MSNBC on occasion, so you have an idea of the other argument. I know Blake is disgusted by that comment, but I just want you guys to just check both sides. It's always good to have that. All right, I'm going to bring this up from Suni. It's actually, I found it earlier. So a lot of you guys have seen this clip. But this one there, it goes into a prayer at the end. And I do want to talk about how Christianity is being attacked as well. And Suni will cover that because I know she was looking at the article, but crazy. Oh, it's Tiffany. Tiffany's being the one. All right. We're not going to give her any time. There we go. All right. Suni, go ahead and hit play. Yep.
Hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you.
You good, sir? Do you need medical attention?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
I got shot in the face. I got shot in the face with some kind of plastic bullet.
Any chance I could get you guys to leave the Senate wing?
We will. I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
Okay, just want to let you guys know this is like the sacredest place.
I know. Hey, no, and I'm gonna take it. See this chair. Because well, I'm not one to usually take pictures of myself, but in this case, I think I'm making an exception. Hey, you and Ray, can you take a picture of me? Bring my phone. Literally. Yeah, they ain't got a choice. There's 500,000 people here. You want straight on? You should be stopping us. No. He's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's doing the right thing. He's obeying his oath.
I'm making sure you guys don't do anything else. Now that you've done that, can I get you guys to walk out of this room, please?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would greatly appreciate it.
Hey, come on, man.
I feel like you're pushing the line.
Hey,
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
This is our capital. Let's be respectful to him. There's 4 million people coming in, so there's a lot of control. We love you guys. We love the cops.
It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
All right, come on.
Over 4 million people are coming everywhere, all the way back to the monument, DC.
Jesus Christ, we invoke your name. Amen. Prayer. Let's all say a prayer in this sacred space. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for gracing us with this opportunity. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. For this opportunity to stand up for our God-given unalienable rights. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building, to allow us to exercise our rights, to allow us to send a message to all the tyrants, the communists, and the globalists that this is our nation, not theirs. That we will not allow the American way of the United States of America to go down. Thank you, divine, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent creator God, for filling this chamber with your white light of love, with your white light of harmony. Thank you for filling this chamber with patriots that love you and that love Christ. Thank you, divine, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent creator God, for blessing each and every one of us here and now. Thank you, divine creator God, for surrounding and filling us with your divine, omnipresent white light of love and protection, peace and harmony. Thank you for allowing the United States of America to be reborn. Thank you for allowing us to get rid of the communists, the globalists, and the traitors within our government. We love you and we thank you. In Christ's holy name we pray. Amen!
Notice all this.
We support you guys. And we appreciate what you're doing. We know you're doing your job.
Okay. So I know here it's weird that they did this random prayer in the middle. I get it. Like that's weird. But my point being on this, how is this an insurrection? How is this compare? I mean, they breached the Capitol. I get it. It's wrong. It's not okay that they are in chambers and that people felt threatened. But this is not any riot. I've never seen a bunch of people praying at any riot I've ever seen. Like, thank you, Jesus, for the opportunity to have, this new Gucci purse. I don't know. Like, I don't get it.
That was the most awkward prayer I've probably ever heard in my life, to be honest with you. But I'm going to come from a different stance. I see people in here in the comments saying, well, they broke into something and a prayer makes it okay. My stance has really changed since January 6th. January 6th, I'm like, it happened. It is what it is type of thing and just let it go. But now I'm being more and more supportive of it as I see more and more of these videos come out. And I've been sharing my fair share of them, is it wasn't all violence like you were told. There was plenty of stuff. I have plenty of videos that I've been sharing. People are fighting with people inside the Capitol saying, don't break stuff. We're showing a presence. We came in lawfully because the police officers opened the back door. We walked right in and we were just walking through the building. And there's numerous times that you see things from a different perspective if you turn off the TV. And the biggest part that I'm in support of around it is Thomas Jefferson said, when the government fears the people, there is liberty. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. And I think this is the first time in over 100 years the government has feared the people. And that's why I'm in support of it, of what happened, regardless of the results, other than the 5 people that have died. That is unfortunate. I'm not going to disregard that. However, the actions is just showing people are uniting, and people need to feel the need to take back control of the government and show that we're paying attention, because we have been so blind for so long.
That's another point you bring up. And we talk about the 5, they keep saying 5 people dead at the Capitol. And that is a very truthful black and white way to explain it. But it's technically 2. 2 people were killed. 3 people died of seemingly natural causes. One, I think 2 were a heart attack. And again, there were flashbangs going off. So it's no doubt unfortunate. But I think it's ironic the way that this is covered in comparison to how BetheChange started. BetheChange started when there were 5, ironically enough, police officers killed in the line of duty at an anti-police protest. So it was an anti-police protest in Dallas, led to 5 police officers being killed by a sniper. Did all the people that attended that event that were definitely against the police, they were saying the police was not doing their job, anti-police, did anybody get in trouble for attending that event? No. The answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. So I don't, and again, I think the way that it's been sensationalized is just such an issue, and that's why people are. A conversation I had with an old friend the other night, he goes, he's like, you're discounting just because you were there, you're discounting the 3 hours of footage that I saw on the news. I said, absolutely. And I get it. I've seen it. I've seen that too. But if you find the same 3 or 4 bad areas, continue to replay images and show what's going on, it's going to look bad. And there was bad. I saw it afterwards. I originally said, and I know that the Breathe America group said that I said there was no Antifa there and all that stuff. There was. Found out later there's a couple. And I also didn't think there was any violence either, because I didn't see it. It's a big building. And I apologize for speaking a little bit incorrectly on that. There was violence that I did not see, and I condemn all of that. There was no need to break things. There was no need to hurt people. There's no need to hurt police, etc. It was bad, terrible. But I'm not discounting what he saw or what people saw on television. But you got to remember, when you see it on TV, plus the words used by the media, oh my God, look at it's a system of programming and telling people how to view what they're already viewing on TV. Ultimately, there was 99.99% of the people there were peaceful protesting, and they were actually using their voices. Blake, why did you get kicked off? Did you found out today why you got kicked off of Facebook?
Yes, I did. I got an alert of why I was removed from Facebook. I love it. I'm tired. I got removed because I made a post that said the post that got flagged, and which was weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, was I said I will never be apologetic that I love God and I love the country of the United States of America. And they doxed my entire account today. I tried to request a repeal, and they automatically sent me within 30 seconds back. The appeal was denied, and they completely took me off of Facebook.
For saying that, which is, again, a discussion on Christianity or attacking Christianity. Suni, do you have that article pulled up?
I do. It's the actual blueprint of the bill that they want to pass. This is something that they want to institute everywhere. And I'll share it so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Marlon actually brought this to my attention because I hadn't heard about it. We always hear that this time was going to come, but I was like, yeah, I ain't seen it yet, so I'm not going to really give it any attention. But no, it's real and it's here. You can pull it up. So, first of all, let me show this up here first. This is who it came from. And when you see the representatives that presented it, you're going to crap yourself. They presented this to Joe Biden and Kamala, and Jamie Raskin, Jared Huffman, and Jerry McNerney.
McNerney.
I was like, wow, this is not real. But no, it's real. One of the things that they attacked and that they feel that this is what stood out. All of it stood out. But this is what, when we talk about hypocrisy, okay? Additionally, taxpayer dollars should not be funneled either to contractors or grantees that discriminate on the basis of religion, or to programs that promote sectarian agenda, such as private religious schools, crisis pregnancy centers, and an abstinence-only sex education. So our tax dollars, they feel, our tax dollars shouldn't go to anything productive that might deter the need for Planned Parenthood, which is abstain from sex. Let's not do that. And then, nope, our tax dollars shouldn't go to any private Christian schools either. Why? Then at the top here, secular government governs the basis of reason, science, evidence. Science was on the ballot in 2020 because this administration's dangerous disdain for expertise, shocking denial of facts it dislikes for ideological reasons, and a naked interference in what should be a nonpartisan scientific inquiry have cost more than 260,000 American lives. Now they brought up again, you know what, the Rona. Government-wide policies on scientific integrity should be adopted by all federal agencies to ensure that the federal analysis is free from political and religious bias. So you can push your beliefs on everybody and everything, but Christians can't, because that's bad. And we need to support science, even though these people are atheists. Huh? Like this is really what we're dealing with. People talk about white supremacy being emboldened. You got people that hate America that feel powerful now because of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and all the antics on the left. They feel powerful, and then they write crap like this.
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
And I mean, there's a certain level we talk about it. They wonder why the doomsdayers look at things and say, well, it's end times. And they're like, oh, they're just crazy. No, we're literally following the blueprint for what some people believe is a false document in the Bible, whatever. The great thing is, I think most of us are Christians on here. We also understand that people are allowed to have atheist opinions. Somebody's allowed to go, your God is wrong, and I will tell them I disagree. But you know what? You are free to have that opinion. That's part of the country. But now it's getting to the point where people are saying Christianity is wrong and it's dangerous, and you can't answer anything back. That is the opposite of the separation of church and state. It's not right. Quick interlude, help cash, for people to keep emailing. Casey has been getting a lot. helpcashkelly@gmail.com for letters to the judge, etc. Some other things. I do daily updates. I did talk to Cash earlier. I just found out that I cannot play the videos or the recordings. We're trying to still clear that with the lawyer. So I did recordings on his video chat, but maybe we'll see that later. Casey, you're muted, or you're muted on purpose. Sorry.
No, I was muted on purpose. You're good.
Okay, my bad. All right. So with that whole attack on Christianity, there's some scary thoughts there. That's some scary, scary stuff. I don't know how to open people's eyes to say what the whole purpose of the United States was.
Yeah.
And what the Constitution's purpose was. I don't know. All right, let's talk. We'll talk about Black Lives Matter rally on Martin Luther King Day after we talk a little bit about policy and executive orders. Trump is doing some executive orders. So Blake and Suni, I know you guys are a little bit hip on this stuff right now. Blake's on something. Blake, go ahead. What's going on with the executive orders and why are they important?
Okay.
Oh my God.
You got to bring a little life to
it. A second. Tyler, I don't know if you know this. Tyler, I know you love to comment. I'm going to read your statement just because I've been asking you to come on the show and you're getting married, but you apparently have enough time to watch the show. as well as make
Write
long
an
comments.
autobiography.
So, as the government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion, as it has in itself no character of enmity against the laws, religion, or tranquility of Muslims, and as Muslimin, and as the said states never entered into a war or act of hostility against any Mohammedan nation, it is declared by the parties that no pretext arising from religious opinions will ever produce an interruption of the harmony existing between the two countries. Cool.
Can I say something really
Go ahead,
quick?
Tuni. Go ahead.
Show me Christians that walk around and bomb each other, and then we can defend Islam. And I'm not saying it's all of them, but that is deep in their culture. So you want to bring that argument? Show me Christians that are blowing people up in the name of Jesus and God, please. And my cousin's Islam.
Why does that argument even fit here, though?
Because he has nothing to say against what I just read. And you know what? You're sorely wrong, because if you look at the 10 Commandments, those are our governing laws, period. You can't tell me that wasn't in mind when they wrote that. Yes, they understood that we have freedom of religion and we can practice whatever we want, but don't do that.
Blake, go ahead.
Hi. I'm coming into the conversation. Do you know why people came to America? Oh my gosh, it is not WWE.
Why did they come to America?
They came to America because of religious persecution. Do they not understand that? They didn't come here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. These dogs think it's like time. Nicholas, can you come get the dogs? They came here for religious persecution, and it wasn't Muslims coming here for religious persecution. It wasn't, any of those people, special guest. It was Christians. It was Protestant Christians who came to America. That's who came in. And for people to sit here and say that we weren't a country founded on God, what were we founded on then?
Apparently, whatever the hell they wanted to be now. Because
it can change under God. And I don't care what God. I really don't. And I don't care if you don't have a God, but that is where we are founded. That's just, you can't change these things. It's actually in the whole thing.
Amen. And a woman. You're still muted.
I can't believe that such an ignorant comment when they said that. It's like, apparently you don't understand the point of amen, but sure, fine. Whatever.
Yeah, that's not even what amen means.
Smart when he wrote that. That's the most disturbing thing about that. You felt so smart writing that down, and you don't realize
he did not write that. If you guys really think he wrote that, he literally used, I don't even know what they're called.
Probably copy and pasted.
He did. He literally used the thing around a word. Like, no one types that. You copied and pasted.
The point is, he felt smart copying and pasting.
Wait, hold on. He went like this. He went, copy, paste. God. No God in this America. No, it wasn't. That's what he just did. And then he went like this.
Oh, man. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about executive orders.
Okay, go ahead, Blake.
I don't want, the whole purpose is to not feed the trolls, but I found it interesting on him. He is one of the people that I've gone back and forth with, begging him to come on the show, and he claimed that he was getting married this week or whenever, and he can't do it, and now he is watching and doing copy paste. Bro. Okay, all right. Blake,
I'm going to say one thing, and people keep bringing up the Muslim topic in here. Okay. In Muslim countries, I would be killed and thrown off a building. Period. Point blank. In the Quran.
You're white?
Yes. A North Face. That I would be killed. I would be killed. And so for you to sit here and justify that makes me, granted, all Muslims are not bad people. That's not what I'm saying. It's actually a very peaceful religion. So to sit here, I don't know why every single time you say something's found on God, people like to compare it to Muslims. Like, why is that always the go-to? Why isn't it Hindus? Or why isn't it Jews? Or, why it's always Muslim? Why do we got to compare the two? It's just, anyways, executive orders, I actually learned this today. His executive orders that he's signing, everyone's like, why is he signing so many? Why is he signing so many? Because they're in effect for 18 months. And no matter what Joe Biden does, he cannot revoke them. That is what an executive order does. He's signing a lot of things, and I think it's really a reiteration of his message he's been trying to push for the last couple of years. This executive order he just released recently was the executive order on taking additional steps to address the national emergency with respect to significant malicious cyber-enabled activities. I think this goes into the trust of what's going on with our election. I truly think, we know it was cyber stuff that was happening all over the world that was involved, and I think that he's making sure that this doesn't happen again through an executive order. Unfortunately, 18 months is too short of 2 years, which is 2022, which is our primaries. So I'm interested to see what our politicians do in our Congress and what they do and formulate together to make sure that people are trusting the democratic process of voting. But the executive orders, and there are little things in there that really just truly embody what he's tried to push forth. And if Joe Biden were to sign an executive order against these things, these are all pro-America. If you haven't, guys, caught on to that theme, it's all pro-America. America made, American this, American that. If Joe Biden removes these or tries to reverse an executive order in regards to this, the American people are watching. It's going to be a true testament that this man doesn't want to put America first. And that should be the message. And people keep shaming people who support Trump as nationalists, as populists, or whatever we are. They're shaming us for loving our country. Clearly, Facebook took me off here for loving my country. But I think it's sad that we've gotten to the point where you can't say, I love the United States of America. And you can't say, I believe America is the greatest country in the world. You can't say those things because it's offensive to all the other countries out there. But at this time, we don't need to be sensitive of what Brazil or Australia or the United Kingdom, what they think about America. Because if we put our citizens first, when we literally put our citizens first, get back on track of where we need to be, we can then further send our blessings into the world. But until we get our shit together here in America, we cannot be the beacon on the hill, period. Point blank. We cannot help if we are in distress, period. And I think that's where we're at. America's in distress with all of the things going on. COVID, small businesses, our economy, everything from top to bottom. Our religious, our freedom of speech, our Second Amendment, you name it, it's at risk. So I think truly, if we want to get our country back together, we have to put ourselves first for once.
So there was a question in the comment box, and you know a little bit more about how executive orders stand. If Joe,
you're freezing.
I'll jump in real quick. Can Joe Biden pardon his son?
No.
Yeah. Yes, he can.
For what? Trump couldn't even do it.
Trump couldn't pardon his son?
Well, he tried to, and they flipped the fuck out or freak out. I'm sorry.
He has the potential where he could pardon him.
Okay.
I think it's possible.
Is it a conflict of interest? Hell yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what I was thinking on that level. Like how
people will judge for sure. I would.
Keep in mind, Congress can overturn an executive order, right? They just have to vote on it, and they can overturn it.
I think it's 60%.
Have they? I don't think I've ever seen Congress overturn an executive order.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the answer to that? Because I missed it. Sorry about that. So can he pardon his own son?
Yeah, he has the power to.
So
if he so chooses.
He has the ability to pardon his son if there is no possible relation in regards to him and his son. If there is a relation between him and his son in regards to business dealings, he can't pardon his son on something that he was also involved in committing.
Let me talk about my internet real quick. So my girlfriend lives in Stephenville, Texas. And their fastest internet speed that you can get, and I've done as much research as humanly possible, is not even a full megabyte upload. So we're doing the best we can. Yeah, I'm at under a megabyte upload. So
hi, I'd like to report a claim to Cricket Wireless.
Oh man.
Okay, so guys, I just looked up your guys' rules. So the president retains power to veto such as a bad decision. However, the Congress may override a veto with 2/3 majority and end an executive order. So you need 2/3 majority, which in this current state, the Democrats do not even have They have an equal majority in the Senate, and they don't have a 2/3 majority in the House. It is actually it's the slimmest our Congress and our House of Reps and our Senate has been in literally, I think, 80 years. It has never been this close before.
Which is kind of a good thing, even though it's not leaning one way.
It's important, though. I don't know if you talked about it because I had to go get my robot fixed.
Your vibrator's out of batteries?
You know what? I will go get Alfred, okay? Because his name is Alfred, and he cleans my floors. I have a robot.
Oh, man.
Mom, they're saying weird things again.
You guys, oh my God, this is not Cons Avengers. Let's save it.
Is this iRobot all over
See,
again?
look, I'm about. See, look. Now you playing with me. It's vacuuming. I went to go clear it.
That's a new one. I've never seen that one before. That's still the one. Cool.
Trump, all of his policies, his executive orders, they're still in place for 18 months. And if you think for a second
Unless
Joe Biden's going to be able to undo it in less than 18 months or even less than 2.5, 3 years, I don't think people are realizing how government works. Unless Congress comes together and they just flip Trump off once again, there's not much he can do.
Which is true.
No.
But I have a question for both of you, since you guys know executive orders very well, but also Anthony. What is your guys' stance on executive orders? Do you like that a president has that much power?
Well, reporting live here. I think is this really loud?
No, you're good.
Okay, reporting live here. I would just like to tell you, I think executive orders are crucial to our democracy. But at the same time, I think it's great we have checks and balances in our system here in America, where our Congress can overrule if some like a tyrannical president were to get into play. They can actually overrule his, which is a beautiful thing about our checks and balances here in the United States. All right, take it out, Sunny.
Thanks, John.
I think.
Over to you, Rick.
Man, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I never do. I'm going to say it depends on who you have as the president. It can be used for bad, but we also have checks and balances, like Blake said, to put a stop to that. Now, will they put a stop to it? It is like so hard to predict in this political atmosphere. You just don't know. I think it's a good thing, depending on who's the president at the time.
I mean, Obama signed way more executive orders, or no, we're talking about, but he's actually had more executive orders too. I mean, we've just completely discounted the good that Trump did during his presidency, unfortunately, and that's what our media has done to us, and that's why people think we're insane for being a Trump supporter. Why we're a Trump voter is because we actually have paid attention to both. When I talked to some of my friends in last week, I took the time out to have phone calls. We talked not just about the quote unquote insurrection, or not just about the election issues, which they were shocked that I still had issues with the process. I have to be careful on my words. I'm like, I have issues in the process because of this, that, the other. And they're like, that was proven false. I go, how is that proven false? They said it was false. Well, I say it's true. Does that make me right? No. I mean, literally there was an argument made to me. We talked about Georgia, and they were bringing up I go, did you see the video? And they're like, no. And I explained it, and they go, oh my God, I didn't even know that. It still doesn't really matter. It's not widespread. I go, whatever. They did their research, and then the Georgia official came forward, and he goes, here's my evidence that that's false. Georgia official came forward, and he goes, this is following the standard chain of commands. It's all fine. Don't worry about it. This is how it's supposed to be done, and it is not the F word. And that was his evidence. And I go, you do realize they could say that about anything they want, and you just ate it up. There was no, well, what happened here was it went from this chain of command to this, and this is why it's not to be worried about. No, it was simply said, this is normal. That's just fine. And that's how we're believing things. That's how we've believed that, some people believe that Trump did nothing as a president. I just wish people would think for themselves.
I have something funny. So a bicyclist was riding through Washington, D.C., and now it's like declared, now it's like on lockdown, like actual lockdown due to the inauguration. Someone was driving by and a speaker playing this.
Oh my God.
The purge noise. The annual purge
So-
is about to commence.
That's
The-
another funny thing. How is it that the Nashville explosion is not being classified as domestic terrorism, yet people standing on the steps of the Capitol is being
Because they did that. You know, anything they
losing
do
my mind?
themselves,
Am I losing
anything
my
they
mind?
do themselves, and they're not going to say we're domestic terrorists. They would have to admit that they did something. No, they're
Oh,
going to blame the citizens for everything. If you notice, we get punished for everything that goes wrong. It's never government officials being held accountable, except if you're Trump and he's an American, he's not a politician. It's never them. COVID-19, we're not
Disaster.
we're not punishing China. We're getting punished. What type of crap is that?
Well, and that was one of the reasons why I asked about the executive order. Is it's came in handy, but if you look at our government, they are so incompetent and can't get along. We can't even make decisions for Americans. In 2020, we achieved absolutely nothing because our government is acting like a bunch of children.
Yep.
Every single one of them. And it's pathetic.
When do I announce my Ohio Senate race bid?
Right now.
2 years.
Right
I
now.
can do it. I'm old enough. I only got to be 25, and I just made the cut. I'm 26.
Wait till I get home.
all right.
I'm ready.
Anybody want to take a stab at Tiffany?
What did
Me.
Tiffany say?
It's on the
Tiffany,
Me. Here.
Look,
I'll talk about
all right.
gay.
government, whitehouse.gov. Okay. And then if you want to just talk about minority stuff, because that's what I don't know if she's white or not, but you're probably a white liberal. You love to virtual signal and tell us what we need. So go there and start at 1.
Wait.
right.
I think we should break this up.
Go ahead.
So here's some facts for you, Sith. Here's the tea. Donald Trump has given $1 million to end the HIV epidemic here in the United States of America and hopefully to eradicate it by 2030. Donald Trump also was the first president to ever announce LGBT members in his inauguration speech. Also, Donald Trump wanted to decriminalize homosexuality in almost every nation in the entire world. And he was the first president to do this. He was also the first president to have a sitting cabinet member, Rick Grenell, who was also an openly gay man. And should the list continue, I can give you more. But this is just on gay rights. This is just on the gay community. Oh, and then, wait, hold on. This is where they come in and say, oh, but Donald Trump bans transgenders in the military. Also, Donald Trump also bans people who have type 1 diabetes, who have anything wrong with them, who require medication daily. If they have any abnormalities where they cannot physically perform up to the best ability for the American military standard, they are not qualified to go into the military. If you have bunions, if you have arched feet, if you have flat feet, if you blink 3 times too fast, you can't go in the military. You have to be physically fit to join the military. And guess what? Someone who is going through a transgender, there's nothing wrong with the transgender. It's the problem in the fact that they literally have to have testosterone or other hormones to regulate their body on a daily or weekly basis, which is unfit to perform in the military. So if you want to come at me with something, say your sources, please. How about you read? I'm not going to read for you.
Gosh, man. Did Trump not sign also an executive order to hire people based off of skill instead of having these weak ass degrees that do absolutely nothing? He also created opportunity zones. He also made it permanent for HBCUs to get funded. Not permanent. I think it's up to 10 years. But no other president has done that. He lowered federal taxes, which means you get more money in your pockets. I can keep going, but I don't want to waste my breath talking about these ridiculous things when you already know Trump has done more than any other president has done and will ever do.
And that's on period.
Whitehouse.gov. Those are my sources.
That's another good one. First president didn't start a war, I think, in almost almost a century? No, it was only about 60 years. Regardless,
he's the first president to be nominated for 5 Nobel Peace Prize.
And I'm gonna disagree with you, Suni, that she does know, because I don't think she does. And I've learned that in the last week, having these insane conversations with old friends, that And it always ends with me going, do you watch any media from the right? And their answers typically, after being very emboldened, go to no.
Guys,
No.
can I be honest right here with you? I'm telling you right now, I personally watch zero mainstream media. Zero. I don't even watch OAN. I don't even watch Newsmax. I watch zero news media outlets. And guess what? I use my God-given 2 eyes and I read using my damn brain and I make formulated opinions based off of what I read on facts. And I don't have people sit here spoon feeding me information because 1, I'm lazy. 2, I don't care to know. And 3, you're just downright ignorant to the fact that you cannot actually find informative information on your own self, like on your own. And guess what? I don't have time to talk to you. So this conversation about what you don't know how to do for your own self is your problem. And it's sad that you actually are able to cast your vote when you have zero clue of what you're talking about.
All right.
Take it away, Jim.
Oh, that was great. So that kind of proves our point. Again, it's just there for 4 years, people have only been spoon-fed one side of information, and that's why we are where we are right now. That is why the event the other day on the 6th is being seen as this worst event in the history of the United States of America. And this they keep throwing those words, attack on the Capitol, insurgents, just all these terrible things. That's not what effing happened. Anyways, all right. Let's speed through this last little bit. Talked about executive orders, why they're important. Black Lives Matter rally on Martin Luther King Day. Why is this not covered? 10 police officers were hurt. Might I add, we talk about the police officer that committed suicide after the Capitol Hill riots, which I think is ironic that became a huge news story when over 50 police officers after Black Lives Matter events, peaceful protests this year committed suicide. Mr. Steele, your girl, go ahead.
Okay, I'm taking it away. Reported live, there were 9 to 10 officers that were injured in the BLM parade in New York City. But the mainstream media is not talking about it due to the fact that this was BLM attacking police officers. We only focus on when Republicans or white supremacists or nationalists are attacking the police. If they're not white supremacists or nationalists, we do not care to report it, and it doesn't matter because Black Lives Matter, not police officers. All right, back to you, Jim.
Yep. So 10 police officers were hurt, 30 people were arrested. And it's being, for the most part, when you actually can find it in an article, for example, things like Brooklyn, I don't even know, AM New York or Brooklyn, whatever the heck, they're presenting it as a peaceful protest turned violent because police officers started, broke it up too early or some crap like that. But ultimately, this was at City Hall. So this is on government property. This is in front of government property. And we're talking about 30 people arrested out of approximately 500, which is almost 10%, as opposed to the 0.0001% of people that were arrested from the Trump rally, whatever. And it's being considered a mostly peaceful event or non-news.
I'm just the Black conservative here, and I'm just like, I'm beyond tired of talking about BLM and their ridiculous claims of always being targeted by police. Like no other person exists on this planet. Like there's never been any white person ever to ever experience any type of maybe police brutality. Like it's whack, bro. I feel like I want to go on a tangent and go call the FBI on everybody that was at that rally just to be petty. I need to call them domestic terrorists too. Why not? I'm telling you, I go cross-eyed for a reason. I feel like going cross-eyed every time we have to have these ridiculous conversations. God.
And
we're going to forever be victims.
What's crazy is people are like, well, now you know how, now the people that went to the Capitol, now you know how BLM felt all summer. No, I don't, because they weren't rounded up. They're talking like they've looked at people like me and said, if you were BLM, you'd be dead. No, if I was BLM, I would be at home, still with my job, being completely fine, not worried about things. whereas the opposite is happening. Like people, what are you doing? People like I don't understand that people are comparing these two things. BLM was let off all summer. There was literally funds created by politicians and celebrities to bail people out of jail for damaging things. Whereas I'm being threatened along with people like me whose families are being threatened. Their jobs are being threatened, their livelihoods. They're being reported to the FBI because the FBI said, please help us. We need to find these people. There was a comment earlier in the comment box saying, I'm reporting all you fake patriots to the FBI. I don't care. You're number 38 right now because I was standing on some steps.
Yep.
Is this the America you want?
Let me just sum it up.
Let
me just sum it up.
Okay, hold on.
I get it. So are you going to rant soon?
No, I won't do that. I'll save it for my show. I won't because I won't shut up. Listen, you know what Americans are suffering from?
Let me do your hands.
Go ahead. Do you know? You're suffering from cognitive dissonance. When you can't grasp reality that there's not just your way and your way is the right way, and or if your side constantly does stuff, constant, all summer, you had all summer to go riot. And all summer, you got a freaking pass. And the one time that a bunch of patriots come together and there are people that act stupid, it's the end of the world. That's called cognitive dissonance. And a lot of people are also suffering from Stockholm syndrome. When you can constantly have sympathy for this crap, you're sympathizing with your oppressor, and your oppressors are on the left and the right because the right is silent on a bunch of different things. So now you know what you're suffering from. Go fix that shit because I'm tired of being your doctor.
You missed an important part.
What
a
did
lot
I
of
miss?
these people that are getting involved do not have fathers in their lives.
Listen, it doesn't have to be people who go to the Capitol. There's me who literally has a lady or man, I don't know who they are, emailing the HR department at my job saying I'm posting during work hours on Primetime Patriots. There's 50 people who run that page. I don't post.
Bruh.
And to continue what Primetime Patriots said as we're about to wrap up, let's stop talking about anything that has any questionable side to conspiracy. First off, I was not watching Dave Lipsky at 12:10 a.m. last night, Kathy. I'm going to tell you I was asleep. I went quite early last night. Actually, no, was I driving? Whatever. I was in bed. I'm discontinuing any questionable news until a long time from now because it's not worth it. It's not worth having the discussion. And even if we believe some of it is true, it's not going to get anywhere because the people in power are able to maintain their control over the media. So we don't know what the truth is, but I'm going to tell you right now that Pence did not step aside. Trump and Mike Pompeo are not acting as president and military. I mean, I love you, and I would love for some things to happen, but that's not reality. And we need to, until anything of reality happens, we need to calm down.
Hey guys, there was a blackout here in Utah this morning.
Oh my God! Don't you dare!
We had 70-mile-an-hour winds. We had 70-mile-an-hour winds wipe out power.
Excuse me. Did all of you people see his hands? Did you see the stars? Did you see them? They were there. I saw them.
Sorry,
I have to watch in between the lines because they were there. I saw them.
That's a great question. This is a real question. What are you feeling about the boycott tomorrow being made by Melania and by Donald not being there? I think that's
right. Why would Trump show up to an election he got cheated out of, and everybody there is acting like nothing happened? Good. I wouldn't go either.
Well, It's his right. Like, why is it a big deal? He can choose whether maybe he wants to go golfing in Florida. Let him go golfing in Florida.
But did you guys see the stars?
I don't think Republicans betray the ones that are leaving the party. I think they're wanting we have no term limits in government. or in not in government, but in Congress. So if you want to save your job for the next 20 years, you do what you can to save your tail. That's what they're doing. So if we get rid of term limits, I guarantee you they would stick as Republicans.
The
Wait,
truth,
they did the
will shock the
unthinkable.
world.
They did the unthinkable.
What?
We just reelected two of the worst ones, Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. They got reelected this year, so they're there for 6 more years.
So did Maxine beat Joe? Maxine?
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys see the stars? dark to light.
I think he's going delirious at this point.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tiffany gave up because she asked for sources and what Trump did, and then she went on
Trump is a source.
her TDS.
She listened.
Oh.
She listened. Let's take the positive side. Maybe she listened. I know Morgan asked earlier if we're going to be doing Concert Ventures again. So Change Makers is going to take some time. We're going to rebuild everything. We got to whatever. Concert Ventures, whenever we can either do it tomorrow or Thursday night, we're going to get the crew together. We're going to do a Concert Ventures. We're going to have some fun. Hopefully I'll get a hold of Bobby Sauce. We can't go too much off the rails. Otherwise he'll stab Mr. Steal Your Girl, or he'll freak out. But yeah, we need to have a little bit of fun. Because there's more of that. What I'm going to be doing from this point forward is I'm going to be doing my best to avoid getting in fights on social media. We've got 730 people watching right now, so I want to say this again. I'm asking you guys, as we have people that troll and are rude and are crazy. I saw a couple times like Jennifer Dean commented being just like, there's nothing worse. There's no more acid on a flame than saying, you know what, I respect you, I love you nonetheless. I just disagree. Thank you so much for your points, etc. Like, be kind to people, and that will be, because otherwise you're going to lead yourself down an hour-and-a-half rabbit hole when you could be doing much better things. And that's what I'm going to be doing personally. So let's be a street light. Let's also, I think these are great things that we can show as Cash is, as his court case comes up, as the people that follow him. Not only has he saved lives, not only has he motivated, inspired, and not only has he gotten people to create change, but he's gotten people to be able to have a conversation in a way that just isn't common on social media in the United States of America. Let us pick some fun and have some fun on the show live. Let Mr. Steal Your Girl, that looks like a Smurf or something right now, get turned, whatever he wants to do. What is he doing? Never know what he's doing. Anyways, all right, let's any final topics, or do you guys want to wrap it up?
Hold on. I just have a quick question. Did you guys see the stars?
Casey, go for it.
No, all in all, like, don't feed the trolls. That's an important part. Like, we're starting to see a lot of them. They're there. Don't feed them. Let them be. Ignore them. You can acknowledge them. Just be polite. Like Anthony said, let's just be the change we want to see, and try to just drown them out. The important people that are doing things is everybody that's trying to do stuff positive in the world. Let's not focus on the negative. Let's focus on the positive. Now, it's difficult when you have Facebook deleting our accounts and trying to get rid of us. Parler's slowly coming back. Hopefully there's more to change there. But overall, if we just keep being the change, it will keep growing and everybody will be attracted to that. Just keep pushing that. That's the big part that we need to be doing right now.
100%. So if you guys want to watch Concert Ventures whenever we do that, either tonight or tomorrow, it's youtube.com/BetheChange USA. Also, before I have you guys say goodbye, if you want to email any support to Cash, it's helpcashkelly@gmail. Casey's been rocking it and reading a bunch of those. Actually, Casey, any final things on that? Like any of the notes that you saw that really were cool to read or anything? Yeah, go ahead.
The letters I've been reading, and I've read literally every letter that has came in. And right now, hang on, let me pull up the email. We have received 56 letters saying how much of an impact Cash has had on their life. The most impactful one I've read, I don't know if she watches this very much, but she wrote a letter saying that she actually helps kids that are in gangs and on the streets and need help and to get out of their situations. She started playing Cash's videos in her classes. And she was not the cool teacher at the time. And then after she started doing this, and everybody started promoting being a streetlight, unite, don't fight mentality coming into the classroom. And ever since then, she's the cool teacher that everybody wants to come in and see. They all want to be in her class. And she was writing a letter thanking Cash for making her life easier, being a teacher and making an impact on these kids' lives. So not only did he just impact the teacher, but everybody else that she comes in contact with. It's amazing. And this is the stuff that we need to get letters for sent in, and we can turn into the judge and the attorney to make the case and show Cash is not the person that it's being portrayed as. Not at all. So keep writing them, giving us examples. It definitely helps the case. I appreciate it all.
Yeah, and it's Judge Simon. I know somebody said that. I'm not on Cash's account right now. Do you have that PO box, Casey, that you can put in the private chat that I can throw up?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Anthony, do you want me to drop our Telegram in the chat?
Yes, drop the Telegram in the chat. I want to put that up as well. So really quick before we wrap up, make sure you get this. I want to tell you guys that are still on. So I did talk to Cash today. We're waiting to play being able to play some of the stuff till we get permission. Cash was funny as heck today. And it's funny to see him be typical and then also at the same time go back and forth in between crying and being upset because he misses this and he realizes there's a purpose. He had just got done talking to somebody there about when they get out to become a street light and get out of that life. And it's interesting. So I can't really play it, but as you can see, we can still communicate like this. And I'm against certain wishes. I'm gonna do the audio of him doing "Unite, Don't Fight." Maybe I'll just say that it's an old clip of saying "Unite, Don't Fight." Anyway, so I'm got the private chat. Did you put it in the private chat? What'd you do with it?
Here, I'll post it.
Yeah, mine's in the private chat.
No, I got yours. Oh, sorry, I didn't put that up, did I? My bad. All right. Care of Judge. So if you want to write a handwritten letter of any kind whatsoever, this is it right here. There's that. If you guys can if you want to screenshot it or what have you. And then where are you putting yours, Blake?
I put it in the link.
What
I
link?
put it in the comments.
Oh.
Yeah, he already posted it on Facebook. You want to post it on YouTube?
No, I was just gonna throw. Well, yeah. Let me at least throw it up.
That's where you can follow for the latest breaking real news, not about the stars.
Hey, breaking news, guys. I'm a snowflake.
So that's where you find that. That's where you get the news updates. And again, they've had everything to make sure that it is up and up. Also, I'm trying to catch up on life, and I will be having a special Cashley Kelly t-shirt, which you can find on our website. This is also an important statement because as you can see, as Blake has been removed from Facebook, Primetime Patriots can't even post on Facebook right now, all those different things. I'm going to encourage you guys that when it hits the fan, the way to figure out where you can find us, find Cash, find me, find anybody is to be on our website, to be a subscriber, which we've increased by about 1,800 in the last couple weeks. Where the heck is our website? There you go. Hashtag BetheChange.com. Make sure you subscribe and you'll know where to find us. Blake, final words.
First off, I'm a bad bitch. Second off, I love God and I love my country and I will never be apologetic for it. For you troll out there that is emailing my HR department, I will find you through an IP address, through the email you signed up for, and I will be coming after you for defamation of character. And I love you.
What he said. Suni.
Well, today I found out I was a snowflake, but it's all right
I thought
because
you were going to say you were pregnant. I almost had a panic attack.
I cannot be that. I'm very much so sterile. Anyways, stop putting your hopes and your dreams and things that aren't going to come true, and take this opportunity to really pay attention to what's going on in your local government. Pay attention to what is happening with the Constitution, because as you can see, they're trying to shred it. Pay attention to things around you. Get closer to God. Take this opportunity to do that. Get closer to God, get closer to your family, and just keep living life, because life is not over because Trump is no longer in office. It didn't end. He's a man. He brought the most amazing movement that we've ever seen sweep across the world. It's not even just the US, it's the world. Let's keep making America great. Let's make America think again. And as always, we have a country to save.
Truth. With that said, thank you guys for joining us. We'll work on Concert Avengers. I know a lot of you guys have just been asking how you could help, everything with what we've got going on. At one point soon, I will ask you guys, because things have obviously changed in the last couple of weeks. And it's funny, one of the biggest events for Be the Change, for Cash, for PTP was the Capitol. What happened at the Capitol? It grew our following bigger. It grew our following faster. It allowed us to reach our voice. At the same time, it's also trying to destroy us with what's going on with Cash, with what's going on with censorship. My whole business would Be the Change and Primetime Patriots, with their business as well, that we're working together, is based off of our ability to communicate. And if that's taken away, it's very difficult, especially in the phase of getting investors, for me to pitch people and say, we've got some backup plans. But it's stressful. But really, ultimately, I know there is some people out there that want to get more involved. You guys always give money and donate and keep the shows rolling and give $5, $10. If there is that group out there that does have larger amounts of money that want to have ownership and Be the Change, I'm going to be asking if you guys would like to get involved and set up a special Zoom call soon, because we are at the phase where we want to get this fully up and running with Primetime Patriots, Be the Change, possibly even Bobby Sauce, and some of the other shows we have, the change makers, things that are actually creating positive change. But we're gonna need something, because before, this was much more sellable before January 6th. And we want to. Will you start? Yeah, we might. I mean, ultimately, the goal is to stay out of echo chambers. So we want to continue to post on things like Freedom Book, and I mean, I don't post on there yet. I know Cash did a bunch, but we want to speak where we can create change. We don't want to create a group that's just high-fiving each other, because that's what's happened on the left. Is they're literally just they have a pack mentality. They know they're in the driver's seat, and they are completely fine with just leaving a whole portion of America behind. And no matter what happens, when we are the ones in the right and we're the ones deemed the correct side on the media, which I don't know when that'll ever happen, but if it does, I will not stand by and watch people treat the left the way that we've been treated, plain and simple. So the key is staying out of that echo chamber.
Also,
yes,
Anthony,
like,
I am also accepting friend requests. I only have like 100. So get it while it's hot. I cap out at 5,000. Get it while it's hot. The only positive thing about my new Facebook is I can go Facebook Live.
Like, how do you spell your last name again?
V as in EGLIA.
Is that it right there?
Yes, right there. Follow me. Right there. Right there. Right under Sunni middle child. She's praying for me as we speak.
Amen. And a woman.
Good way to end it. All right, guys. I'll give you an update on Cash hopefully tomorrow. Still talking to Erica on how to keep things together. Love you guys. Have a great evening. Remember, at the end of the day, it is the truth that will set you free.
Period.